Hi, and welcome to Bedrock Windows Edition and Console Edition Minecraft. This channel talks only about Bedrock Edition, and today I'm going to talk about a very simple design you can create to automate bamboo farming, and also if you want to do this sugarcane farming for paper and so on. This is a slow farming method, and we can see that I'm only having 26 as a stack. And this farm highly is based on that the observer you see right here will see the growing bamboo. And when the growing bamboo is at the same height as the observer, it's going to trigger the pistons just behind, which are powered by, let me just show it to you, some red dust. And then it's going to be triggered. Now, bamboo is growing right now, pretty slowly, but I can take some bone meal, and I can make this grow right here so I can see what happens. So now I'm just bone mealing it, and boom, as you can see, it automated and started all the different pistons and chopped down the bamboo down in them hoppers here that all point towards the center middle and into the chest down below. Now, there is no limit to how wide and far you can make this. The observer itself can control around 4 to 5 blocks to the left and the right side, so you need a bigger, wider one, you need more observers. The only reason I put 3 observers here is just because, well, I wanted it to be faster. So I experienced the middle one grew slower than the one on the other side, left and the right side, so I decided to just put 3 observers and play around with it. This is a very slow farm, but it's really easy to create, doesn't require a lot of material, and if you have the time to wait around, well, basically it's gonna make you some bamboo sticks. If you wanna make, and it's the newest patch, not the newest patch, but one of the patches that came out, we made a lot of bamboo stuff. So you can use bamboo now for planks and stairs and fences and so on, and sticks too. It's an easy way of getting what you need in an automated environment. Now, the way that you build it is basically you take a hopper, as you can see here down below, and then you point them towards wherever the chest is going to be, just below. This block here is mud. So the way you create mud, if you don't already know, is that you go to your, let me just do it in creative mode. So you take some dirt and you need a water bottle. It would be the easiest way if you ask me. You can just create, you know, unlimited water. It's pretty easy. So you place how many blocks you need and then just empty the water bucket over the blocks. And then whenever you are farming this one here, you're getting this block right here, which is called mud. The mud have a very, very interesting property, because whenever you drop something on the mud, it's gonna go through it and go down towards the hopper and being led towards the middle one and down the chest. Alright? So that's why I used mud. And this is actually what makes this a little bit easier to create. Mud is really easy to create. Some people also ask me if you can use a bucket with water, just like that, for example. And then you take the water bucket and pour out on the block. And as you can see, it doesn't create the mud the same way. I'm just gonna pick up water. Like that, this goes away. Alright, so you need the bottle of water, just like that. You know, the empty one is just gonna take an empty one just like that and go there, press the water, and then you have a water bottle. You can just take it, pour it over the dirt block, and then you have the mud block. Everything that basically goes through the mud block is going down to the hopper, as I just mentioned before, and this is what enabling this farm to actually work. So whenever one of these blocks are breaking, you know, I can do it like manually, just like that, boom. In creative mode, so it probably was destroyed. Yeah, it was. So we need to enable it with the hopper. enable it with bone meal then it will chop down to the same level of the pistons you can see right here. So this is just normal pistons. I'm pretty sure we're gonna work with sticky pistons too, but this is just normal pistons, right? Creating a piston is basically, if you don't have the material, you can of course test it out in creative mode. A piston is just right there, and the sticky piston, so you would need different kind of materials in order to create this. On the back here you see some redstone, and the redstone basically is powered by the observers. So there we saw it grew, the observer fired, and whenever the observer is firing, and basically the core mechanism behind observers is that when something is in front of them, they're gonna create some sort of, you know, current. It's gonna hit the redstone and enable whatever stone that can carry the current towards the mechanism, which is the piston, and it's gonna chop down the bamboo. This would also work with if you want to do like sugarcane, just like that, sugarcanes. They also being chopped down. Now this wouldn't work with trees, and you probably thought about the same thing. You could use a dispenser and you can put in, let's say, bone meal, and then you can just automate it with some sort of circuit, and then put bone meal on the trees and let them grow automatically. But it doesn't work like that, because you need TNT in order to chop down trees and explode it. And for that you need a lot of TNT, and to get a lot of TNT you need to have some monster farms. I have 2 big monster farms you can see here that I created. It took a lot of time, and inside of those is a chest, and you need this gunpowder stuff here. And you also need a lot of sand, and then you can create TNT. And just to remove any doubt what this is all about, this is the TNT you need. And if you have a dispenser, you can put TNT inside of the dispenser, and then you can of course explode the tree trunks away that way. Now it's not something that I created, because in Bedrock Edition in Windows we have a slight issue of many of the farms and mechanisms not working the same way. So I know people say do Java, but I just don't play Java on Windows because my son is playing on an iPad, and that is the Bedrock Edition. So that's really it. Alright, so this is the farm itself. It's pretty simple. The overall mechanism is, I'm gonna, you know, place it for you so you can see it. So we have mod. I'm gonna take a mod block. Basically you're gonna place it so it's one up, well, actually you need to go one higher up, and then you're gonna take, you know, a hover, and you also need a chest. Let me just do that pretty fast. Yeah, so you need a chest, so you place the chest there, so the hopper is dispensing in the chest just like that. And on the top of this you're gonna plant the bamboo. Really, that's it. So basically you can remove all this now, going back to bone meal just to show the basic mechanism, and take some glass so you can see what's going on. You just build the glass like this, so we can just bone meal it and chop it down. Well, it's already growing, so that's great, but let's just do one more time. So in the chest, as we see now, it is empty. So we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna go out of creative mode, which is just UIs. So I'm gonna bone meal it, chop it down, just like that. Pop. And it goes down the mod, and inside the mod goes down the dispenser, and now the 2 bits is in the chest. That is the core mechanism behind the easy small farm, as we see right here. Now, what we would need in this part here is a observer, you know, basically just these parts here. So you would take an observer and say, like, whenever the bamboo is going up to the side of the server, it's gonna be triggered. And in all honesty, we could probably do something like this and say, probably do something like this and this. I'm gonna make this pretty ugly. Let me just take a piston just like that and place it correctly, of course. Hold on. No. Really bad at placing pistons. There we go. And then you would take some redstone, more or less just like that. And say, well, there you go. So whenever the observer would see the... I hope this is correctly done. So let's remove all this one more time. Let's say bone meal. So whenever we bone meal this, the observer would see it. It's not seeing anything. Let me just see what's... We need to do something about it. Basically, it's... Well, the mechanism is that, you know, it sees this. And what if we take a button, for example? Just place it there. Piston fires off, and yeah, I need to have it behind there for my floor, so let me just pretty fast, I'm use the same one again, so cobblestone. Yeah, it's my floor, I'm sorry for that. Then move all this one more time. Also gonna need it. It's oh, there we go. There we go. So that should actually do it then. I hope so. So let me just throw it. Yeah, boom. So whenever the observer is seeing it's growing up to it, boom, it fires off, you know, giving the current outside of the red dot here. You know, that's what I forgot. It goes here, fires the piston, and basically that's it. This is actually just a minified version of this one here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just 1. So essentially, this will create a lot of bamboo at some point in time. So yeah, creating this mechanism requires some materials. Let's just have a look at this. I'm gonna go out of creative mode. We're gonna go back to a crafting table, and I'm gonna go ahead and type piston. The piston, that one would require to have redstone. You need redstone, of course. Some sort of plank, doesn't have to be bamboo, any plank would do. Cobblestone and some iron. The dispenser, we don't use dispensers, but we can use an observer, sorry. I would need some nether quartz, so I need to have access to the nether. Nether quartz are pretty easy to find, you know, it's more or less everywhere. It looks like this. I have 20 of them because I do have a nether portal down below. So you will need to go to the nether in order to create this. Glass is just from sand, so that's pretty easy to get. And the dispenser, sorry, the hopper is a little expensive. You require 5 iron. If you don't have an iron farm, you're gonna have to go ahead and mine your way through to get iron, which is what you have to do. And the mod is pretty easy. The bottle itself is also pretty easy to get to create mod, and it's just 4 glass, so you need to find 3 pieces of sand, and then you have to melt that, smelt it, whatever you can call it, to glass, and then you can create 3 pairs of, you know, 3 bottles, right? And then you can create mud, and this is the very invaluable material you need. So basically that's it. You don't need the button up there, but you can also fire it up with the button. You think that is fun. Alright, so for this tutorial we are creating a very simple, very basic bamboo farm. I hope you got the idea of how to create it, and yeah, it's not the best one, so if you want to see a bigger one, you're gonna have to look at the one just behind here. It's a fully automated, well, not 100% automated, you have to click a button in order to run, but I feel this is the best way for me to have this farm, and I spent a lot of iron to create this, but I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. It's a flying machine, Bedrock edition, Windows edition, big farm of bamboo that I'm actually creating a lot of bamboo with. Alright, so if any questions, just ask them below. I'm gonna try and get back and answer all of your questions for you. See you again online. Have a really nice day.